What's up? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Just want to get myself together here really quick. And want to kind of put this on the board as people are coming on in, as we're getting ourselves ready for tonight's live, which will only be maybe about an hour long. So I'm going to ask you guys to jump on in. Please go ahead and share this on your socials and let everybody know that we are live. As more people start to come in, I'm going to kind of set the tone, set the stage for our conversation tonight to make sure that we're on the right page and that we're all in a good state of mind when we talk about this tonight. But welcome to everybody. Let me know where you're from, who you are. Let me know that. And yeah, we're just waiting for some people to get up in here. What I want to say is before we get started, sort of want to begin on a serious note. As you can see on the screen, I put the word attention. Now, to all my supporters of this channel, you support what goes on here. You agree with the multicultural aspects of the culture of hip hop, so on and so forth. I'm going to ask you for a favor, that if you're a supporter of this channel, that you not engage with any of the racist trolls that are going to come into this chat. Don't engage them. Don't encourage them. Don't speak to them. Don't answer any of their questions. And I'm going to do the same tonight. I'm just going to move past all of their comments, right? And they know who they are and you know who they are. So, Juice, what's up, man? Listen, Juice, just listen to what I'm saying. Look at the screen. Please, I'm asking you, do not engage with any of the racist trolls that are going to come into this chat tonight. Don't engage them. Don't respond to them. Just let them get lost in the chat, responding to each other and trying to ask questions that they really don't care about, that they really don't want to know. They're here because they have an agenda. And that agenda is to cause disruption. So rather than engaging them and missing the points that I'm making tonight, just pay attention to what I'm saying and engage with that. Engage with me, engage with each other in reference to what you support. Okay, so do not engage them at all. At all. Don't acknowledge their presence. Don't acknowledge their questions. Don't acknowledge their racist trolling attitude. We are not going to acknowledge that. And that's going to be from now on. I'm going to call attention to this, that we do not engage the trolls who come in here with a racist agenda. That's what we're not going to allow. So the best way to do this is to simply ignore. So I want everybody that's tuned in so far, Juice, Randy, Talim, pay attention to the wording on the screen right now. Okay? I'm asking all the supporters of this channel not to engage with any of the racist trolls in the chat. Don't go back and forth with them. Don't respond to them. Don't acknowledge them. Do not. I'm going to do the same. We're going to stay on course. Let's talk to each other. Let's talk about the content that's being presented. They want to derail the conversation with racist rhetoric. We cannot allow that to happen. Let them get lost in the chat. Let them talk all they want. Ignore. Ignore. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. What's up, Talim? I see you. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to start this off by showing you a 1970s UK video of the influences that the SOUNDCLASH scene and the SOUNDCLASH culture. Our topic for tonight is, as you can see, let me put it on the screen. Let me do this. Okay. I want to share this. Okay. Yes. So our topic on the screen tonight, we're talking about Kool DJ Herc. So as you come in, I'm going to leave the caption on the screen. I want you to read that caption. If you are a supporter of this channel, I am asking you to not engage with any of the racist trolls that are going to come in here. Don't respond to them. Don't engage with them. Don't let them get lost in the chat if they want to talk. But we don't need to respond to them. They're not here to learn. They're here to disrupt. That's what we need to know. So I'm going to start off by showing a UK video. And the reason I'm showing the UK video to begin with is because of the fact, please do not engage. Engage with us. Let's engage with each other. Those that know. But let's not engage them. Let them talk. So I want to show this video. And it's just going to show you a UK scene in the 1970s. And really, the UK was highly influenced by the SOUNDCLASH culture. We're going to get to Herc. We're going to talk all about that. This is kind of a re-airing of what we did the other day without all the interruptions. I'm not going to be long tonight. We're going to show some stuff. I'm going to talk about some stuff. But I wanted to start off with this. So let's go there. Here we go. No, but what I mean is let's not even engage them. Don't say anything about them. Like, seriously, don't even mention them. Oh, we won't. Let me do that. You don't mention them. Act like they're not here. Act like they're not here. Let's go. Here we go. Let me add this to the stage. How am I going to do that? Okay, let me see something. I'm going to, here's what I want to do. Okay, let me see. Boom. Boom. It's not letting me. Why not? Move other media streams from the stage. Okay.
Look at the German, tuning the Rasta sound, tuning the bodies in the land, cut more, beat, chat trade. Who say Jah no trade, them a jester. Who say Jah no trade, them a jester.
Just going to let this play for a little while so you can see the scene. This is the 70s in the UK as they're influenced by the SOUNDCLASH culture of Jamaica. Just watch this for a little while. Just watch this.
Move, yeah. Straight on the earth, yeah, me I show you. Black people must be fight. Got to live in love and unity. Unity is at stake, yeah. But if you preach the right and then you do the wrong, go down in fire. Ja fire, ja fire, ja fire, ja fire, ja dread. The dread, I the lion, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, has prevailed to open the book and to lose the seven seal thereof.
So this is in the 70s, reminiscent of a jam that you might have seen in the Bronx or in Harlem and later in Brooklyn. Check out The Scene. And while you're coming in, please pay attention to the caption on the screen.
Tune in David Sound, the master of the sound. Yeah, sound dominate the UK. Tell you that. Just on. You know, Rasta vibration sound. Tell you that.
Remember what I said, y'all. Do not engage. Do not engage. Engage with the content, engage with me, but do not engage the racist trolls in the chat. Pay attention.
Rasta vibration. I official sound I play.
I like reggae music best because it's got a lot of soul and it's something I can identify with, like the rest of the youth, born here in England. It's the only thing left, to me. Okay, listen, we're here in England, we're born here, okay? Never having been to Jamaica. We're the custom, for eating all West Indian foods is slowly leaving. The fact that we're having to eat school dinners because our parents are out all day. So we have to get used to the English food. Okay, West Indian food is gone. What else is there left? There's just music. And where's all the music coming from? Jamaica. It just has to be reggae. The music that's coming out of Jamaica nowadays, it's really great.
Just a little introduction to what we're doing tonight.
Rent a car from our newest fleet yet. Your real car never has to know.
Okay, so that's really what I wanted to show you. Just wanted to kind of open up with that scene. Let me stop the screen. Let me pay attention to what's going on. I wanted to open up with that scene from the UK. And in the UK, they are very influenced, or they were very influenced by the SOUNDCLASH culture of Jamaica. Right, of course, Jamaicans, people of color in Britain, all influenced by this scene. And when you looked at that scene, you saw what was reminiscent of a jam in the States. Okay, if you noticed, the DJ had one turntable, because that was the focus that they really wanted to focus on. It was about the music. It wasn't really about cutting and scratching, because obviously that wasn't invented yet, but it was about the music. And so the one turntable, they felt there was no need for another one. And so what they would do, remember what I said, was that they would wheel it back, or they would rewind it and then play it again. Right? So I want you, yes, they're known as the selectors, right? So once again, y'all, attention to all the supporters of this channel. Do not engage with any of the trolls in the chat. Do not engage. Just engage with me, engage with the content that you see. Our topic for tonight is the legendary Kool DJ Herc. And we're going to talk about Kool Herc. We're going to talk about his beginnings. We're going to talk about the Herculoid Sound System. We're going to talk about the idea of it coming from Trenchtown and what that means and its connection to hip hop's culture. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. But again, before we begin that, let me encourage you. So, what's up, Truth Teacher? I want you to pay attention. Truth Teacher, I want you to pay attention to the caption on the screen. Do not, under any circumstances, engage with any of the racist trolls in the chat whatsoever. Do not engage with me, engage with each other on what we are hearing, what we're learning. You can add what you know as well, but do not engage them. They're not here to learn, they're here to disrupt. So we won't give them any air, let them get lost in the chat. Let's continue. Let's talk a little bit about the book that's coming out in 2026. Of course, Hip Hop History, Origins, and Elements. This is the official, unofficial title for the new book that's coming out. And it's going to be a great, great read, a great, great source of information, right? A great source of information. So let's stay focused on what we're talking about, because the idea for many times is to disrupt so that the focus is lost. I'm asking my supporters, do not get unfocused by the trolls. Stay focused. Stay focused. Don't engage. Don't engage. Okay? Do not engage. Stop saying things. Don't engage. Don't engage. Okay, here we go. So that's going to be the book. It's going to tackle all the elements of the culture. That's coming out in 2026. And of course, coming soon is going to be the director's cut 2.0, the Bronx, the home of hip hop. And that's going to be actually an updated version of the original documentary, the first documentary that I did, called The Bronx. Hip Hop is from the Bronx. Okay. So let's go. Here we go. So let's talk a little bit about Kool Herc. I'm going to leave that up on the screen for a little while as people get in. Once again, don't engage. Kool Herc, arguably the greatest spark for the culture of hip hop, who happens to be Jamaican. Jamaican from Jamaica. Okay, he comes to the States, and most of you know this information. I'm not saying some stuff that you don't know, but most of you know this information. But he comes to the States from Jamaica, 1967. I believe he's about 12 years old. Some people say he's about 13 years old. We're going to watch actually an interview that he did in his native Jamaica. We're going to watch the Cindy interview. We're going to watch the history of SOUNDCLASH culture and make those. So when he comes to the States, again, he's thoroughly Jamaican, right? So he has to adapt and adopt, right? American culture. Well, where is he? Well, he's in the Bronx. Okay, so he's in the Bronx. So obviously he's going to be surrounded by Black and brown people who are in the Bronx. And so he's going to die. He himself said this. He himself has said that he was a hick, that they would laugh at, his cowboy boots and all that. What's important to understand is that when anybody comes from another part of the world or another part of the United States to New York City, they too have to adapt. It's just part of learning to, adapt to your environment. It would be the same thing when we talk about somebody like Disco King Mario, who came from the South. And so, the guys at Bronxdale said they used to make fun of him because he was wearing, these pointy shoes, and he was, they used to call him country. He was from the South, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, when you come, you're adapting, you're adopting, right? What your surroundings are. So Kool Herc was influenced early on in his native Jamaica in a place called Trenchtown. Trenchtown being the place where Bob Marley was from. It was considered like the South Bronx of Jamaica. And so he's in this area, and he is seeing, he's not going, he's too young. He's seeing the SOUNDCLASH culture. He's seeing this influence, this movement happening with the huge sound speakers and the sound systems and the selectors and the DJs. He's seeing this scene happen, right? And so when he comes to New York, now keep in mind, his father is also part of that scene. His father was into music, and so his father is encouraging him. But Herc does not start to build his sound system until he's, a middle teenager, maybe 16, 17, somewhere in there, where he starts to develop his sound system. Okay. Now, what we want to talk about when we talk about Kool Herc is we want to definitely address the elephant in the room. Truth Teacher says, no, the South Bronx was luxury compared to Trenchtown. And so right here we have Truth Teacher, who is a Jamaican, right? And so I would probably agree with that, right? So it's a different kind of an atmosphere, but I digress. And so we get into the place that is considered the first hip hop party. Now keep in mind, Kool Herc is he is running in the Bronx, right? As early as 1971, he's going to parties at the Plaza Tunnel with graffiti writers. Okay. And of course, the DJ at the Plaza Tunnel was John Brown. And John Brown simply just played records. He just did what DJs do. He just played records. The Black Spades would frequent the John Brown parties. Again, to all my supporters, please pay attention to the caption. Do not engage. They're coming in. Do not engage. Let them talk. Let's keep going. And so as John Brown is playing this music, we hear an interview from Sasa, who talks about going to the John Brown parties, right? And in a nutshell, basically says they're just dancing like James Brown. They're just simply doing what James Brown was doing. Okay, but when it comes to Herc is going there with graffiti writers. The element that Herc first gets involved in is graffiti. He's a writer. Okay. And now, in the interview that I did with Topaz from the Ebony Dukes, he used to write with Topaz, and Topaz told me about Herc, and they were writing together. So Herc was a graffiti writer. Now he's going to these parties, and it is in 1973 that his sister Cindy, let's recap the story, right? His sister Cindy starts to wants to throw a party, right? She wants to. Some say it was back to school party. Some say it was to get clothes. Needless to say, it's a party. In an interview with Kool Rock recalls the party, and he says that there was nothing hip hop about that party on August 11th, 1973. Dancing Doug himself told me there was nothing hip hop about that party. There was nothing of the essence of what came to be known as hip hop then at that party. Okay. So when they throw the party, Kool Rock says that both Herc's parents were there. He said the lights were on. They were serving hot dogs and soda. They were charging at the door. Right. So it wasn't that coming. Number one. Number two, there wasn't even enough room to hold people. That room might have fit 50 people in the room, if that. Okay. So yes, that is a myth that we have, right? That's a myth that we have going on, that 1973 was the first hip hop party. It was not. It was not. There is a flyer that is going around, and many have seen the flyer. It is not a. It's not an actual flyer. Okay. Some say it was made for the Sedgwick and Cedar clothing line, but it wasn't an actual flyer. That was not the flyer for August 11th. Kool Rock says now, so he does this party in 73, and then he continues to do more parties. Again, he's just playing on a record player. There's no two turntables, there's nothing like that. He might have a mic, he might not, but he's just playing on a record player, and he's playing music. Apparently the story goes that it starts to get a little bigger, and then it ends up in between the two buildings in the courtyard. Then they said that they moved it to Cedar Park, where Kool Rock says it was too dark, it was dangerous. We weren't there long. And then the first club after Sedgwick Avenue, after 1520, was the Twilight Zone. Again, not really hip hop. He might be playing those kind of records, but it's not, that scene is not happening yet. The Twilight Zone. But it's when he gets to the Hevalo in 1975 that Kool Rock says, when we got to the Hevalo, that's when I felt this thing that we would connect to what later came to be known as hip hop. It was the Hevalo in 1975. It is at the Hevalo that the Herculoid Sound System is introduced. It is at the Hevalo. Now, there is some confusion about the Herculoid Sound System and the Herculoids. The Herculoid was the sound system, okay? The sound system is what he would build. The Herculoids would be the people who come a little later, okay? These are people like Clark Kent, the original Clark Kent, and others with him. I've heard others say that the Herculoids were also b-boys, that they would call themselves the Herculoids. I don't know that. I've heard some people say that. But what I want to focus on is the Herculoid Sound System. Okay? And this is the system that Melly Mel describes, where he describes the jams that Herc threw. Anytime the pioneers talk about the jams that Herc threw, they all say pretty much the same thing. the same thing. Once again, y'all, let me remind us what we're doing. The supporters of this channel do not, and I repeat, do not engage. And I keep repeating this because there's new people coming in who are supporters. So I want them to know, don't start to engage any of these racist trolls. Do not engage them. Back to the story. 1975, we have the story of the Herculoid Sound System. And they said it was a crisp sounding system, like you heard the highs, the mids, and the bass. It was like a clear sound. And one of the aspects that Herc uses as he remembers his native Jamaica, as he remembers the stories, as he remembers what SOUNDCLASH culture was doing, was the echo chamber. And this is not to suggest that Jamaicans created the echo chamber. They did not. What I'm saying is they used it within the SOUNDCLASH scene, within the dance hall scene. When we say dance hall, many people think we're talking about dance hall music. That came later. Where the SOUNDCLASH culture was happening was in dance halls, and thus they call it dance hall. This is where it was happening. This is where it was taking place, in dance halls, much like the first video that we watched. Okay, this was happening in a dance hall, and so they would use these echo chambers. You would hear the flange, what they call the flange, on the rhythms, right? And then when they would talk, so when people went to Herc's parties, they would hear that echo chamber going off. You know, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, beat, 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 rock on. And this is what it was sounded like. Melly Mel said it was like a trippy dimension, like he took you into another dimension. So this is what's happening. And those influences come from the SOUNDCLASH culture that was native to Jamaica. And then it moved from Jamaica to the UK. It moves. Delay. Yes, I like that, Rafa. Delays and effects. Okay? Delays and effects. Randy, do not engage. Don't engage. Don't talk about the outsiders. Don't engage. Engage with me. Engage with what we're talking about. That's what they want to do. They want to trigger. Don't engage, bro. So anyway, so we have this scene that's happening, and we have, original people like Coxsone Dodd. We have U-Roy and I-Roy and these, these different people who are the kind of forefathers of the scene in Jamaica. They are the forefathers, right? And so we have the testimony of Coxsone Dodd, who says that, when he came to the United States, and this all ties in with KOOL HERC and his story, but when he came to the United States, he was working, and he would go to the juke joints, where African Americans, and they would go out, they would hang out. And he was really enamored by the way that the jukebox looked. It had glass. And so one of the things that he said was that when he went to these spots, they did not have sound systems, right? They had jukeboxes. That's where the sound was coming out. So he wanted to create a speaker box that resembled a jukebox, and he put glass on it and writing on it, right? So, but that is not to say that the sound systems that were built were first done in America. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that this was a beautiful piece of furniture, so to speak, right? This box that had records in it and that was producing sound, but really that glass was really what he was really influenced by. So he's like an important figure, you, Roy and Ira and the rest of them. KOOL HERC His father, very, very, um, they have a keen memory. So did Herc's sister, Cindy. Keen memory of what is happening in his native Jamaica. Now, there is this idea that what me or anybody who would talk about Herc is saying is that Herc was when you went to a Herc jam, it was a Caribbean flavored jam. That's not what we're saying. We're simply talking about the SOUNDCLASH culture. Now, we're going to play an interview where he's interviewed, and he's going to tell you what he did at his parties. Okay, now there's a lot of people that I talked to that went to his parties. Not necessarily 1520, not necessarily even the Hevalo, more like the PAL, the Webster PAL, and those places, right? So, but before we go into that, let's recap again. I want to play for you the video of the history of SOUNDCLASH culture. I want to play that for you. Please forgive me for the repetition, but for the sake of having this readily available, I want to make sure that we're. Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure that we're understanding where Herc gets this from. What was this scene called SOUNDCLASH? So I want to play this again, and this is again for educational purposes. This will be in the archives so we can see what it is that SOUNDCLASH culture actually was. So let me go back, and I'm gonna make this a boom. Okay, yeah, I want to make it big. Boom. Okay, and I'm gonna get myself off the screen. Let me do this. Boom. And here we go. Enjoy, don't engage.
Way from helicopter.
The SOUNDCLASH is one of the most electrifying competitions in music. In a SOUNDCLASH, DJ crews known as sound systems pit their skills against each other, fighting for the crowd's love and a place in history. Originating in the streets of Kingston, Jamaica in the late 1950s, sound system and clash culture predates dancehall, reggae, and ska. It started with sound systems pulling up on the street, equipped with an assembly of huge speakers, turntables, and mics. Their ultimate goal? Outblast the neighborhood's other sound system. Crowds judged a sound system by music played, how the physical sound system looked, and how loud the music got. They approved with a forward. A forward can be anything from throwing a gun finger in the air, whistling, banging on walls, or clapping. It can even go as far as lighting things on fire, which in the context of sound clashes is a good thing. The first reported clash was between two prominent names in sound system history. Tom the Great Sebastian, created by Tom Wong, whom many credit as a forefather of the scene, and Count Nick in 1952. Ex-policeman Arthur Duke Reed is another icon. He ran one of the most popular sound systems of the 1950s, called Duke Reed's The Trojan, and was infamous for firing a pair of revolvers, rallying up the already aggressive crowd even more.
Duke is on now. Everybody pack up and go home, or Duke is on now.
In the 1980s, audience members themselves would show appreciation for a good performance by firing guns into the air. The gunfire was later replaced by lighters and glowing cell phones, but fans may still make hand gestures and sounds to replicate approving gunfire.
Sorry, let's stop there for a minute. So they start talking about Duke Reed, and they talk about the naming of those sound systems, right? So there's only a couple of hip hop groups, if you would call them that, that were naming the sound systems. So Kool Herc being the first. Again, he named his sound system the Herculoid Sound System. And then you have Baron and Breakout, the brothers Disco with Sha Rock, and their sound system was called the Mighty Sasquatch. I do believe, if I'm correct, I do believe DXT also named his sound system something Infinity. The Infinity Machine, something like that. Randy could help me out with that. But let's continue. So be active. If you just got on here, do not engage. Do not engage with the racist trolls. Don't engage. All of the supporters on the channel, don't engage. Let's engage with each other and engage with the content. Let's keep going.
The central figure of a sound system is the selector, who's responsible for picking which records to play. Selectors were so revered for their choices, they became celebs in their own right. Ainsley Gray was one of the best-known selectors of the 1980s, leading sound systems like Kilimanjaro and Stereo Mars to victory. Now, it wouldn't be a sound clash if competitive systems didn't go at each other's credibility.
No, Trevor ranks, or should I say Trevor sucks?
So, of course, sound systems brought on the insults to gain crowd favor.
And the ugly fucker, the ugly fucker, see that? The original goat, man, I met the goat,
Slang terms like drum pan or drum pan sound were most commonly used in a derogatory manner. Exclusive tracks or remixes known as dub plates were introduced into clashes by the 1980s as well, popularized by sound systems Bass Odyssey and Kilimanjaro. After that, if your dub plate collection was weak, you could kiss winning a sound clash goodbye.
Watch it, Lord, it can send to bed to another dub plate to your chest.
Jamaica's influence spread, with the vibrant sound clash scene developing in the UK starting in the 1960s as Jamaicans emigrated to the area, culture in hand. Sound systems also arose in Japan, Sweden, Finland, Italy, Germany, and Canada. And in the early 1970s, the architect of New York hip-hop, DJ KOOL HERC, was so influenced by the sound clash culture of his native Jamaica that he brought sound systems to his parties in the Bronx.
So you can hear that, again, sound systems. This comes from Kool Herc when it comes to the context of hip-hop. When it comes to the context of hip-hop, that context, it's Kool Herc in the beginning. Let's keep going.
In 2010, Red Bull Music Academy launched Culture Clash, a modern spin on sound clashes. Since then, artists like Major Lazer, Disclosure, Just Blaze, and ASAP Mob have played clashes all around the world. Today, the sound clash's spirit of competition and its innovative dubplate techniques have influenced many genres of music, from hip-hop to EDM. What started off in the streets of Jamaica has touched music fans across the globe.
All right, so let's get out of that real quick. We're going to stop sharing the screen. Let me get in here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and so let me put this back up. Hold on 1 second. Bam. All right, so we can see the history of sound clash, right? From the 1950s and then beyond, spreading across, the globe. Of course, not everywhere, but it showed you all of those places that Dwayne Thomas, he says, Cologne DXT Sound System's name was the RL Earthquake. Thank you for that. Spoke to Charlie Rock and he gave me some information. But anyway, so the sound clash culture is the influence for Herc out of his native Jamaica. Okay, now I want to show you a very interesting interview with Kool Herc. Let me see something right now. A very interesting interview. Now, what I want to encourage you to do is to pay close attention to what he's saying and what he's not saying. This is a lengthy interview and this is from Herc's own mouth. Okay. Randy is in here, and Randy can kind of type up some of the stuff, but they just did an event just recently where Kool Herc was honored along with his sister Cindy, and they did this in New York. And you know, people were just acknowledging the father of the culture, the father of the culture. Okay. Once again, to all of my supporters, if you support the channel, and if you guys see as you're engaging the trolls, do not engage them. Don't speak to them. Don't answer any questions. Don't acknowledge them. Don't acknowledge them. Let them get lost in the chat. Acknowledge what I'm doing and talk amongst yourselves, and let's get some of this the history correct. All right, so I'm going to play this interview with Kool Herc as he was going back to Jamaica to participate in a festival of some kind. So pay attention to the screen. Here we go. Again, please do not engage. Do not engage. Don't answer their questions. Don't respond to them. Respond to me. Respond to each other. Let's go. Here we go. Let me share the screen, and we're going to go to, yes, this is the one I want. I believe so. Okay, boom. Boom. All right, and here we go.
He's the Kingston-born DJ, widely credited as the father of hip-hop. But why is he so disconnected from Jamaica? Kool Herc, right now, right here on our stage to tell. Kool Herc, sir.
I know, sir. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you. And you're here in Jamaica visiting. Do you call it visit or coming home?
Coming home.
You call it home, homecoming.
Yes.
To participate in the Jamaica Reggae Conference.
Yes.
All right. So do you accept the term father of hip hop? That credit. Do you accept it?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
I'm a Jamaican.
Yes.
And I'm responsible for it. It comes from my history.
Yes.
Before all the dance stuff, because I came here in 1967.
Yes.
With BOAC.
That's when you migrated to the US.
Yes. Yes.
67.
Yeah.
Describe for us the details of the contribution.
I fell in love with the music of James Brown.
Yes.
I love James Brown. Also, history with Nat King Cole and my heritage. Like my woman say, that's a good bounce as far as reggae music. And I love Bob Marley. So
yes.
my ears being trained. Mm-hmm. And I love it. And the kids love it. I like the DJ, they love it. Mm-hmm. I tell them don't start no problem. And that was it. And the white kids was there too. So it was like Martin Luther King dream was there. Little white boys, girls, they get a dream. Yes. What could help them? It was music.
Okay.
Little did I know.
You were 13 years old when you left Jamaica.
Yeah.
For the Bronx in New York.
Right.
And so at what point did you start to experiment with music?
I was DJing, me dancing, listen to kids,
Yes.
And they tell, oh, that sound good. But James Brown is the one influencing with the music.
Yes.
Because they like it, and I play some reggae music. Mm-hmm. I play my music.
You were playing reggae music?
Yeah, I could touch.
How old were you when you started this?
They're going up around 16 now.
Oh, 16?
Yeah, get ready.
And at one point, because of gang warfare, regret.
Okay, let me repeat myself. Supporters of the channel, stop engaging. Stop talking about their people. Stop talking about it. I can see Beat Active. Stop engaging. Don't talk about Tariq. Don't talk about this, bro. Stop engaging. Leave it alone. Let's talk about what we're talking about. Let's keep going.
Oh, yeah.
So the clubs that we read closed out on some, and you started a party at your home.
Right. With my sister, because I was heavy into graffiti.
Yes.
So that was nice. And my woman didn't like that.
Oh.
So I had to graduate off the wall, the music. They said, oh, he DJs. We have the party. Come on in, behave yourself.
Isn't that where your experiment with music and mixing and so on started? Was that where?
It comes from that. There's certain parts of the records I recognize the grooves. I call it the break. So what I did, what I experimented one day, I took out those best parts of the music and put it in it, and I call it the merry-go-round. It took off.
Okay, and that started to stimulate more interest in that kind of sound?
Oh, yeah.
Music?
Yes.
So you were looking for rare music?
Rare music.
And would experiment with them?
Yes.
And create your own style, your own sound?
Right.
And so just now, fast forward to the birth of hip-hop out of that. People started, did the rapping come to be part of that?
They start experimenting it, and it comes up.
Okay, so you
like say Heavy Days and the Boys, Heavy D. The Yard Man.
So who were you among them at that age, 16 or thereabouts? Were you a Jamaican?
Always.
Or a Yankee?
Always.
So where was the music of Jamaica in all of this mix now?
It's in there, man.
We're still mixing in the Jamaican sound?
And also Yardman was there to Love Katrina.
Yes, so you're mixing R&B.
R&B.
Reggae.
Okay, so again, I'm going to replay this because you guys are not paying attention. You're engaging. Hey, Kevin, a.k.a. Mr. K, don't engage them. Don't engage them, bro. Leave them alone. Don't engage them. Engage what we're doing. I don't believe I have to keep saying this 20 times. Stop engaging them. Let's keep going, man.
I don't know. I feel article to my heart. I want to know that Jamaican people say a pillar just far along in the Jamaican music.
In 1967.
Yes.
With BOAC.
That's when you migrated to the US.
Yes.
67.
Yeah.
Describe for us the details of the contribution.
I fell in love with the music of James Brown.
Yes.
I love James Brown. Also, history with Nat King Cole and my heritage. And my woman say, that's a good bounce as far as reggae music. And I love Bob Marley. So my ears been trained. And I love it. And the kids love it. I like the DJ, they love it. I tell them don't start no problem. And that was it. And the white kids was there too. So it was like Martin Luther King dream was there. Little white boys, girls, they get a dream.
Yes.
What could help them? It was music.
Okay.
Little did I know.
You were 13 years old when you left Jamaica.
Yeah.
For the Bronx in New York.
Right.
And so at what point did you start to experiment with music?
I was DJing, me dancing, listen to the kids,
Yes.
And I tell them, oh, that sound good. But James Brown is the one influencing with the music.
Yes.
Because they like it, and I have to play some reggae music. I play my music.
You were playing reggae music?
Yeah, I could touch.
How old were you when you started this?
And going up around 16 now.
Oh, 16?
Yeah, get ready.
And at one point, because of gang warfare, so the clubs that we read closed out on some, and you started a party at your home.
Right, with my sister, because I was heavy into graffiti.
Yes.
So that was nice. And my woman didn't like that.
Oh.
So I had to graduate off the wall, the music. They said, oh, he DJs. We have the party. Come on in, behave yourself.
Isn't that where your experiment with music and mixing and so on started? Was that where?
It comes from that. There's some certain parts of the records I recognize the grooves. I call it the break. So what I did, what I experimented one day, I took out those best parts of the music and put it in it, and I call it the merry-go-round. It took off.
Okay, and that started to stimulate more interest in that kind of sound?
Oh, yes.
Music?
Yes.
So you were looking for rare music.
Rare music.
And would experiment with them.
Yes.
And create your own style, your own sound.
Right.
And so just now, fast forward to the birth of hip hop out of that. People started, did the rapping come to be part of that?
They start experimenting it, and it comes up.
Okay, so you
like say Heavy D's and the Boys, Heavy D. The Yard Man.
So who were you among them at that age, 16 or thereabouts? Were you a Jamaican?
Always.
Or a Yankee?
Always.
So where was the music of Jamaica in all of this mix now?
It's in there, man.
But we're still mixing in the Jamaican sound?
And also Yardman was there to Love Katrina.
Yes, so you're mixing R&B.
R&B.
Reggae.
I like it, I play it.
And you got your following out of that?
Yes.
So hip-hop was born out of that. We know the rest in terms of the growth and development of hip-hop.
All of that.
But it was called rap at the time, right?
I never named it. I call it freestyle. Do your thing, and everything's a follow.
So who are some of the big names that are recognizing you, giving you recognition as the father of hip-hop?
When Biggie met me, if I mentioned, he met me, said, Herc, I want to thank you for starting hip-hop, otherwise I'll be robbing and stealing.
Okay.
Even Puffy met me. I know them. They know me.
Would you say that your credit is enough, is sufficient? Are you properly credited now as the man who inspired this genre?
Yes, I take it. They give it to talk to me, give it to me. They recognize where it comes from.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So why have you stayed away from Jamaica?
Things happen.
Yes.
Things happen. Yeah.
Things happen.
Things happen. And I'm here. Throw all that stuff away.
So your stairway doesn't.
I'm being myself. I'm being myself.
So Jamaica, the island,
yes,
was what you stayed away from, physically coming home?
No, not like that. No.
But the Jamaican scene in the US, the Jamaican community?
Yeah.
In New York and in the tri-state area, you stayed away from that too?
No, I never.
You were still connected.
I never had for my countrymen. I never do that.
Okay.
Who know me, who they don't.
Yes.
American kids gravitate to the style I was doing, going in Jamaican reggae artists, bits like that.
Yes.
That's all.
So, do you still do music now?
Yeah, not that much.
Okay. But do you make a living? Is music your mainstay right now?
Part of it, yes.
The tour and so on?
Yeah.
How celebrated are you though in those destinations?
They give it to me.
Yes.
They give it to me.
They give you the love?
Yes.
Yes. And do they recognize your Jamaican-ness, so to speak? And credit you accordingly? Do they ask you for a touch of reggae more time?
Oh, no, I'll play it. I'll put it. It's part of my repertoire.
Reggae is always in your repertoire?
Yes, always.
That's important to say.
Always. The B-boys everybody get a little taste.
Your community in Jamaica, you're from Kingston. Where in Kingston?
Alpha. I remember Alpha.
Yes.
Franklin Town. I used to live nearby the Ambassador Theater.
Okay. Right in the Mecca.
Trenchtown.
Right in where the music
Yeah.
So you were exposed. You were well exposed to the music.
Yes.
Those formative years of the music.
Yeah.
Were actually there in that time.
Yeah.
When the music was being made. Has reggae lived up to its promise?
Right now, I'm just sad about
okay.
Who know me, who they don't.
Yes.
American kids gravitate to the style I was doing, going in Jamaican reggae artists, bits like that.
Yes.
That's all.
So, do you still do music now?
Yeah, not that much.
Okay. But do you make a living? Is music your mainstay right now?
Part of it, yes.
The tour and so on?
Yeah.
How celebrated are you though in those destinations?
They give it to me.
Yes.
They give it to you.
They give you the love?
Yes.
Yes. And do they recognize your Jamaican-ness, so to speak? and credit you accordingly. Do they ask you for a touch of reggae more time?
Although I'll play it. I'll put it. It's part of my repertoire.
Reggae is always in your
Yes.
Now notice what he said. Notice what he said. Reggae was part of his repertoire. His repertoire. Watch what he's gonna say about the B-boys. Watch this.
Always.
That's important to say.
Always. The B-boys everybody get a taste.
Notice what he just said. He always included it in his playlist. He said the B-boys got a little taste. He always included it. So that kind of disturbs the myth that he didn't play reggae music at his jams. According to him, he most definitely did. Let's continue.
Your community,
right,
in Jamaica. You're from Kingston. Where in Kingston?
Alpha. I remember Alpha.
Yes.
Franklin Town.
Mm-hmm.
I used to live nearby the Ambassador Theater.
Okay. Right in the Mecca.
Trenchtown.
Right in where the music
yeah.
So you were exposed. You were well exposed to the music.
Yes.
Those formative years of the music.
Yeah.
Were actually there in that time.
Yeah.
When the music was being made. Has reggae lived up to its promise?
Right now, I'm just sad about the violence. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. I don't like it. You hear making you're doing good. You're doing good, but the violence. Oh, come on, man.
The violence. Take the violence out.
Yeah, come on, man.
Musically, we're doing well.
Yes, we're still a front runner.
Yes.
Culture-wise, we're the front runner, and it's gonna be there.
What about dancehall?
We love it. I like to see my man do them things. Mm-hmm. I like it. The difference. Them film spin on it. Yeah, I recognize it. Everybody else might not, but I like it.
All right. So there's a new sound in Jamaica that we're calling trap dancehall. Have you heard of it?
I know it for the trap, for the American.
Yes.
Gangster, for as that trap music.
Yes. Do you think that Jamaicans should pick up trap and do trap?
Trap your own stuff.
Yes.
Pick up your own style.
Dancehall trap? No? You shouldn't have borrowed from hip-hop, you're saying?
Then everybody pick up somebody else's stuff.
Yes.
Everybody pick somebody's stuff. But at the same time, too, come up with some of your own stuff. At least it come from, not so it come from. But if you put a spin on it, if you want to use it like that, no problem.
Yes. So you don't have a problem with the youths who are doing trap here?
No. Listen, every youth come a different style. They can't knock it. When the kids say trap music, they say come from reggae.
In Jamaica, there's a big debate that it's from hip-hop.
Well, good. Yeah. Good, exactly.
What do you say?
Exactly. You respect it, don't knock it.
Some feel that it may overtake dancehall. And now dancehall will now be, hip-hop will be now getting much of dancehall's credit. If dancehall were to get bigger and surge in the world to be like in mainstream, hip-hop would own that sound, in a sense, because it's a knockoff or a derivative of hip-hop.
Hooray.
Hooray. Good move?
Hooray.
Good for Jamaica?
Hooray.
But wouldn't those mainstream artists be the ones dominating and not Jamaicans?
Some have to catch up. Some have to catch up.
They have to catch up. They have to catch up with it.
If you want to make yourself with it, you want to put a name in it, you want to claim it. Mm-hmm. If you claim it, otherwise behave yourself and just don't knock it.
So we should not be concerned about Jamaicans losing our music to foreigners, to Americans, to other nationals.
Competition is always good, you know.
Yes.
It's good for the business. It's the violence and enviness. Envy is a red-eye business.
Yes.
It's not healthy.
So Jamaicans just make music and make it go where it goes.
Where it go?
And express yourself. Self-expression.
It sells itself.
So we're going to have this conference, the reggae conference in Jamaica.
Yes.
And you're going to be making a public appearance in Jamaica for the first time in how many years? Cool.
Long. Yeah. I've been there on some business, but not going to the water and the... No. In Kingston, this is a long time.
Oh, wow. So what's your message at the conference? What do you want to get out? What do you want to leave with us?
Do your thing. Everything else will follow. And don't knock the other man from doing something. Help each other. Mm-hmm. Help each other. Help him. Help each other.
Okay.
And stop the violence business. Stop the red eye business. That's all. Stop envying this business. I don't like it.
The violence not going anywhere.
That word, not good. It's not good for business. And that's one thing people don't want to. If you do things like that, you scare people, man. It's not a good party if somebody gets shot. It's not a good party. You don't come here for get yourself. You don't come here for get yourself get shot. And I see too much of that.
Yes.
People who I know, I watch them grow up music. Then I hear. Look at Biggie. I see this man. I know names. I named them right there. I look around like, they're supposed to be here. They're supposed to be here. They're not. Jam Master Jay, I know him. Not healthy. He gets shot. A old man, then old age, but he gets shot. We have to ask questions. What happened? That's not good. Yeah, so that's what I see. Too much of that, man. I love the music, man. But at the same time, too, come on now. Why you ain't here?
Well, Cool. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you, man.
I look forward to the conference and your presentation.
And thank you.
And continue to fly the flag. And we hope you'll get some time to enjoy home.
I got some stuff. I got some.
All right, boss. So,
and Jamaica, thank you for having me here. That's all. Thank you.
Well, there you have it from the man himself, KOOL HERC, right here on our stage. All right, so stay with us.
All right, so let me stop that share screen. Let me get back on. Get back in. All right, so let me put this back on. We're going to add to the stage. Boom. So, Herc said a lot of things that were very, very telling, very, very interesting. One of the things, again, he never denied playing his music. He said, he played it for the B-boys. He played it, for, the other thing he said that was interesting. He said white people were coming to his parties. I never heard that, but listen, it's him. He's the one, right? So let's conclude today's live. I said I wanted to go an hour. I'm a little over. Let's conclude today's live with listening to Cindy Campbell talk about in an interview the roots, the influences of Jamaica on the culture. So we're going to go there. We're going to share this screen. Let me just go here. Boom. We're going to share. We're going to make it big. All right, here we go.
Foundation of the music for all the godfathers who set
it. This is a special, musically speaking, looking at 50 years of hip-hop. And we have the special privilege of having the first lady of hip-hop, Cindy Campbell. She is online with us today. Remember, what we're celebrating is that party in the Bronx, which was hosted by her and her brother, KOOL HERC. And that changed the course of popular music and popular culture forever. 50 years ago, that's what happened. So we're talking to a history maker here. This is special. Cindy, you're there.
I'm here. I didn't leave.
Right now, could you have imagined at that block party in the Bronx, Sedgwick Avenue, could you have imagined that what you were putting in motion would result in something as gigantic as this? Could you, in your wildest imagination, have imagined that?
But I knew it was going to turn into something, but you're right. I could not imagine how gigantic it was going to turn out to be. And that's a blessing, you know, that's a blessing. And it's guidance to get us to this point. You know, it's been a journey. And the journey took us here, and we're here to be able to receive it and share it with the world. And so I could not have imagined how it would have been, but I'm thankful that it turned out the way it did. And it's a culture for us, you know, it's a culture for we as a people to be proud of, to say we are part of that extension. And they can't take it away from us now at this point. Nobody can claim it.
You can't take that away from me.
Now, we can claim it, you know. Jamaica can claim it.
Jamaica,
you know,
that's the important part of it. No, I mean, the fact is, we still have to concede it was created in America by Jamaicans, but the fact is, we must celebrate the Jamaican roots of it. This thing, exactly. as Herc reminds me, and you always remind me, that you people were influenced by what you grew up and saw in Jamaica before you left for the United States. And what you did was you transplanted what you had experienced from Franklin Town and all the other places where you lived in Jamaica. And that is what resulted in this phenomenal form that we call hip hop.
Yes. We took all that influence, the toasting, you know, the sound system, the way you give the party. You know, when you give party in Jamaica, you have to have food.
Food and drinks, yes.
Food. You have to. So, you know, we did that. You know, we made sure, you know, that happened. As far as, you know, you have to give out your little invitation and invite people.
You know,
we did all of that.
You took all of these customs from Jamaica and you customized them for the United States, and the rest is history.
History.
You have been listening.
All right, so we can see where. Let me do this. Boom. Okay. So we hear from Cindy herself, you know, saying, you know, what it was, you know, that this was influenced by Jamaica. So let me break down the how I feel about the 73 party. And I've said this before. I believe the 73 party was the conception, not the birth. It was the conception. The birth takes place in more like 75. Okay. This is when the baby is born. Okay. The baby starts to take on a voice of its own, late 76, 77 with the MCs. And then the culture, the baby gets a name in the 80s, which is called hip hop culture. So I believe that the 73 party was the conception, though it was not hip hop. Hip hop does not start, the spark does not start until easily 1975. And 75 is where Herc introduces the Herculoid Sound System at the Hevalo. 75 is when Flash comes out and he introduces the quick mix theory. Okay. 75 is a pivotal year. Bambaataa said in 75 is when he threw his jam in Bronx River. You know, so there's a lot of beginnings in the story. But because there's so many people telling the same story in different ways and what they didn't see or what they did see, it kind of gets confusing. So this is what we want to do, is we want to kind of lay everything out on the table to see, how do we create a proper timeline? How do we create a proper narrative of the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why? Those are the important things. And so for this episode, we want to acknowledge the father of the culture. Okay, he did not create hip hop culture, because those are the four elements. What he created, what he brought to the table, was the SOUNDCLASH culture and the merry-go-round. But remember, he was also a writer, and graffiti predates hip hop as we know it. That's another story for another time. So this is what he brings to the table. So he is the father of the break beats for specifically his dancers who were burning, and the influence of those break beats and the other DJs that would come after him playing specific break beats for no other people than b-boys. But before there was two turntables, you had pause tapes. Right? People were doing pause tapes of the break beats, of Apache, and just making these pause tapes and carrying around radios and playing these pause tapes. And so everybody wasn't seeing two turntables. Quiet as it's kept. Everybody says this. Herc was not the most fascinating DJ, right? He was kind of sloppy with what he did, but the idea of just focusing on the breaks of the record come from KOOL HERC. Nobody else. And then Flash, and then Bambaataa, and then a Breakout, and then the list goes on and on. Charlie Chase, Disco Wiz, blah blah blah. Tex D, all that. All of that is important, but the story of Herc is the pivotal story. And if we don't get this story correct when it comes to the foundation stone, we're not going to get this story correct. Okay, so again, remember, the Herculoid Sound System comes from SOUNDCLASH culture. We're not talking about the Herculords. We're talking about the Herculoid Sound System. That's where it comes from. And so just wanted to create a teachable moment where we can just glean. Some of you got some fascinating things that you want to add to the table and that you have said. I love what Truth Teacher says here. He says he ignited the spark that grew into a fire. Yes, absolutely. He ignited the spark that grew into a fire. And that is KOOL HERC. And so the pioneers celebrate this easily all day. There's no question about that to those who are in the know of the culture. There's no question who the father is, what he brought to the table, and how that influenced the first battles. Sound system against sound system comes from SOUNDCLASH culture. Well, who introduces that to the New York scene? Okay, now, don't get me wrong. There were DJs who were battling in Brooklyn, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about in the context of hip hop. Those were not hip hop battles. In the context of hip hop culture, the sound system against the sound system from 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. This is what you saw. Mario against, so-and-so. Tex D battling Bambaataa. Sound system to sound system. Whose system was the loudest? That's what we want to focus on. I want to see something because I have something here, and I'm not sure what this is. Remembering Travel British. What is this? Let me see something. I want to see. I have another video here, and I'm not sure what it is exactly. Let me play this real quick. That was, I don't know what that was. That was something else. I just had it there, and I was wondering why I had it there. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you respecting my wishes. Of course, I'm not ordering anybody, but I'm asking us, let's just stay focused. Let's not engage. Let's engage with each other. Let's talk about this amongst ourselves. So again, thank you for tuning in to another episode. Don't forget, let's add this to the stage. Don't forget, Hip Hop History, Origins, and Elements 2026 is the year this book will be released, and this will be an exegetical tome of the culture of hip hop. It's going to go deep in the weeds. It is going to be a scholarly work, and I'm praying for God to give me the ability to do that. And then coming soon, I was working on the edits last night. The Bronx, the home of hip hop, the Director's Cut 2.0. And let me encourage you, if you've not seen the Latin Breakdown, one of the most important documentaries about the origin story of hip hop when it comes to the Latino presence in the culture. This is a must see for anyone who is serious about understanding the whole thing, right? All the players. And our story and where that comes from is just mind-blowing, phenomenal. The other two mini docs exploring the Latin Breakdown parts 1 and 2, please check those out as well. Grace and peace, man. I will talk to y'all in the next episode. God bless. Thank y'all for tuning in too. Thank you for tuning in to my channel members. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, continue to support the channel if you can, if you're not subscribed. And I'm going to encourage you, please consider taking channel membership to get those exclusive videos. Grace and peace.